business.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I can't find my glasses, so I'm gonna look
fine.
ridiculous.
It's fine, it's fine. Thank you so much for coming on.
Sure, thank you. So, how do we start?
So it's just like a normal conversation. We just start talking, get to know each other, and like just touch on topics that you want to talk about, or I want to know, or like anything.
Sure, okay.
Okay. So how's
I'm
your
ready.
day going? Otherwise,
Well, I was actually pretty frustrated because there's a bagel place that I've been told is the best one in the whole New York,
yeah.
and I keep going there, but the line is like outdoors. So I was like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? No, I don't have time for this. So I got this tiny little roll, but I ate it on the way back. It was that small.
So a roll and a bagel is different. I don't have bagels where I live, so I don't know so much about them.
Where are you from?
India.
Oh, cool! Oh my god, because you have no accent at all.
Oh, yeah, like not the typical one, like just a regular thing.
That's awesome though. That's so cool.
So did you finally have your role? I didn't interrupt it
Yes.
between the call.
So what happened was it was called like peel away dinner roll. As like a Russian person, I also don't know the culture of rolls.
Yeah.
Apparently, you have to like have meat and eat the roll with the meat. But I was like, no, I'm just gonna eat the roll because it was like $1. I'm eating it. So good. But then I finished it. The elevator took so long because I just moved into this apartment. The elevator was like, oh my god, like I was like, and then nothing happened. So I was like, I just ran up the stairs. I was like, oh, that's why I have this big water.
I see. But you didn't have your office today?
Today's Sunday, so
Oh,
last week we had Monday off, which felt I hate weekends because I like working. So for me, it's like it's like I was like, yes, a podcast, something amazing to do.
I see. So cool. I was just like checking out your work on like Instagram and YouTube, and it's amazing. Like such cool cartoons and stuff. Like they're so cute and like well done, and they're just so cool. So I was super excited to speak with you. How did you get started like creating stuff and everything?
Well, when I was 6 years old, there was this thing on YouTube called Misheard Lyrics.
Okay.
And it was like you know like you would take a song and you would like write the wrong lyrics to it and it would be funny. And so when I was like 6 or 7, I was like, I should make my own. So I did like with like Windows and MS Paint.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm so cool. And like I got like 30 views and I was like, yeah. And so like I was always telling my parents, I want to be famous and I want to be a cartoonist.
Yeah.
So this is definitely like everything I wanted to do when I was a kid is what I'm doing now, basically.
Oh, cool. So you started when you were 6. That's a long time.
I think it feels like I started the idea when I was 6, but I was only like able to do it when I was like 6 or 7, because I was like, all right, now I'm a big kid.
How long, like if you talk about like a cool animated picture that you made, how long does it take you to like finish the entire thing from start?
Well, the video I'm the most proud of is Scout's High Soul Hat, because I feel like it gives a really good like world to live in, and that one took literally 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah, 1 whole year, and I would come home every day from school. I was in like 7th grade, and I would be like, yeah, today I want to work, and like there was nobody home at the time, so I would be like eating mac and cheese. Like I think this was my schedule: go home, watch 1 episode of Bob's Burgers, eat mac and cheese, and then work until 10 p.m. So
Really?
I was
that long?
Yeah. The thing is, at the same time, I always start projects and quit them, which is really bad. So don't do this.
I see. And what about like if an animated picture, like if it's not like a movie, just a picture that you do? How long does it take you to do that?
So when I was like 15, I made up this idea that every masterpiece you can make it in 20 minutes, which is generally true. But if I wanted like a painting, it would take like an hour.
Yeah.
Sometimes it took for like 3 hours. But and like maximum, like if you really want to work on a painting, like it could take 3 hours. But see, there are people that are doing paintings for like 10 hours. I'm like, oh, I can't do that.
I see. So what do you make them on?
I used to make everything in this horrible free Photoshop, which I suggest never to do because, then when you could say, oh, I suck because of the program, not because of me. That's bad. The main thing that I use is Photoshop. But now, I used to use Photoshop, and then I was like, screw this, because it has pixels. If you zoom in, you can always see it. So I started using Adobe Animate. It's the best one. It makes your lines so sexy.
How cool. That's amazing. How did you find about... Sorry?
Makes it all smooth. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah, I feel like I've seen the videos on Instagram where people are like just making all these portraits. Is that the one? Very smooth lines and like just you have a pen and you're doing something on your iPad, that kind of a thing?
Exactly. Oh, but I never draw on my iPad. My boss does, but I don't. Because I found it so weird. I'm like, so slippery.
Do you do it on your laptop?
I use a Wacom tablet. Usually, I could show you. Wait, where is it? Oh, here it is. Here is my Wacom.
Uh-huh.
Like, I would just like literally go like, ah, and it pops up on the screen too.
I see. So you have like a specific pen for it?
Yeah. I used to use a really good pen. Like this is like the pen that costs like $1 million. But the problem with this one is like you need like the tablet itself doesn't work with my computer for some reason. So I was like, I'm too lazy to uninstall it and everything.
I see. How cool. So how did you find about GaryVee?
I literally did not know about GaryVee at all before I started working there. So they were like, dude, like Vaynermedia, right? And I was like, okay, I'll apply. So I was applying everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I got invited to go to the building, and they were like, yeah, we make GaryVee. And I'm like, oh. So I didn't know what that was. And then everybody's like, you know what that is, right? I'm like, But anyway, it's funny because they're like, the whole office was like, I was applying here for 6 years because I love GaryVee. And then I was just like, I guess I'm here now. You know what I mean? So it's pretty embarrassing. But at the same time, like, as soon as I started working there and I listened to everything he said, he sounds just like my family. Like, we're both, like, very similar culture.
Yeah.
So, like, everything he says, I agree with, which is funny because I didn't even hear about it. But I was like, yeah, like, I love this guy.
How cool. So what's it like working there? Do you go through, like, a whole interview process and everything?
Weirdly enough, everybody does, but I didn't because it turns out, like, I was like a baby who was still in college, and they like liked my stuff so much. They're like, okay, basically she's already like hired. So then I was like, okay, like I mean, I came in thinking they're gonna be like, okay, so tell us about this, like, ask me questions.
Yeah.
But in the case of me, I actually didn't get interviewed. They were just like, this is where you're sitting. This is your boss. This is your other boss. Okay, like, come back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, but like, I was like, when's the part where you start making me like scared and shit myself? But that actually did not happen, surprisingly.
That's great. So how did you? So you applied and they checked all your resume out. You must have like sent some pictures and stuff. That's how.
Yeah, I sent them links to everything I made.
I see. That is so cool.
Yes, it's crazy. It reminds me this one guy, D. Kirk. Do you know about D. Kirk?
D who?
D. Kirk is a graphic designer on the team. The way he got into the job is so funny. He wrote this rap song about how he wanted to get into Vaynermedia. Check it out. It got pretty viral. It got like 1 million views.
Really?
And his channel has no views. Yeah, it's from Reddit. He put it on Reddit, and then it got like really like shared everywhere. Because people were like, wow. And then they brought him in, and they hired him for his resume as well. So that's so great.
How cool. Because I know like people really like have to brainstorm and like just being creative for the resumes and even like to get an interview in the first place. Yeah, especially like, you know, like the number one thing they like is when you do fan art. Because my amazing boss, I love him, he's the sweetest guy ever, Cesar Rodriguez. He directed the cartoon. The way he got the job was just constantly drawing Gary as a kid and being like, yo, look how cute this is. And they'd be like, yeah, this is pretty cute. Like, he kept doing it for like months, and eventually they're like, hey, you should come here and work. And he's like, but I'm in Florida. I'm like 8 hours away. And they're like, no, it's okay. Like, you know, we'll help you relocate if you could come work or something like that. But I was like, that's a great story. That is so cool. So how long has it been since you're working there now?
November. And you know what? I was still in school when I started working, but then I had all these health problems. I was like, I hate my life. Like, I felt like I was wasting my time. Turns out it was just a college. And I realized college is a waste of time for me. Mm-hmm. So I quit college to work there, and that was the best decision I ever made.
Absolutely. That's like one of the greatest cultural places where you can learn from. Like, everyone's like such a good person and hardworking and like on to like some next level things.
Yeah, I super agree. Like everybody that you meet is like, oh, and by the way, I have like 50,000 followers. I'm like, fuck yeah, me too. You know what I mean? It's so nice.
This is amazing. I literally like started my whole podcast inspired by Gary because he would keep pushing out. He's like, like create content and like document, but I'm like, I don't have anything to say. I don't look good and stupid shit like that. But then I was like, let me start my podcast where you have I like love talking to people, and I thought that this would be a great idea, like just to like build your network and get to know people. And
Yep.
I just got over with school myself, and I did not go to college. I wanted to do this like full time, but I did not know what I was good at, so I just started documenting my whole process. And initially, I found everyone through Gary's comment section because I thought everyone's gonna be like-minded, and everyone kind of gets the social media aspect. Because if you hit up random people to come on the podcast, they'd be like, I don't know you. But everyone who consumes Gary, they're like in the same mindset, and they like understand the whole culture, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're like ahead of the time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that if you tell someone who's like, I don't know, a CEO of some company, hey, like, do you have a TikTok? They'd be like, are you stupid? But like over here, like, you tell someone like, oh, you have TikTok. Oh no, I don't, but I'm planning to get one. Like even
Yeah.
I got a freaking TikTok because I know that's where I'll be active.
Did you ever use it?
Me? Yeah, I try to make like funny-ish videos. Like, it's hard because the culture of it is like millions of effort. Either look sexy or do crazy things. I'm like, that's not about me. Like, I can't do it. But yeah, it definitely is crazy environment, and I'm trying to get used to it because the internet is changing so much.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, what's your story like?
Like me.
Yeah, like your story as a person. Like, what's up?
That's an amazing question. Oh my god, thank you. Like, can I also say I love your energy so much? It's so great.
Thank you. I love yours. I love like people who are like just so. But sometimes I'm just asking questions and people are just saying like, yeah, that's right, and then they don't respond at all, and I'm like, oh, what do I say next? And then this is the whole thing.
Well, that's the issue with I gotta say my story is well, I'm from a family that is very psychological, very emotional, crazy, passionate. They're all like, yes, like, I love this, or like, no, I hate this. Like, there's no, like, middle. Like, I remember when we would meet Americans, and they would be like, today we're having turkey for dinner, and blah, blah. And I'd be like, I don't understand this culture. And then meanwhile, my family would be like, okay, first of all, do you think humans are evil or good inside? You know what I mean? Like, that's what you're talking about. But, like, it is bad because in some ways, I mean, like, of course it's amazing because it makes you creative, but it's bad because they don't care about the little stuff like, oh, like, I need my driver's license. Oh, okay, whatever. What about that next week? Okay, so what do you think about this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely, like, they were less of the, like, PTA. Like, I never got any kind of, like, feeling that they were, like, gonna bake cookies for my classroom or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I had the feeling that they're always gonna support me, even if I say like, "Hey guys, I want to be a circus clown." They'd be like, "Okay, let's talk about it."
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel really lucky because all my friends are like, "Yeah, I wanted to be an artist," but my parents were like, "No, you're gonna starve, be a doctor."
Yeah.
So like, that sucks. I would be so sad if I had to do that.
Yeah. So that was like your home culture, and you say you're from Russia. So did you come here?
Oh, it's a very convoluted thing. But so my parents are from the USSR, actually Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, there's a big difference between Ukraine and Russia because of the wars. Mm-hmm. So, but I still feel more Russian because they were on the border of the country. And so I was born. So afterwards, my mom had a crazy idea of going to Israel because she's 25% Jewish, and they're like, okay, let's try.
Okay.
Going to Israel. they went there with a suitcase and nothing. They had no money. They had like a suitcase. It's crazy, and they had nowhere to live. They were just gonna ask people, "Hey, do you have an apartment? We could." That's literally what it did.
That's gangster. That's
They are crazy people. They are so crazy. And then my sister was only like 3. Then I was born in Israel. I was the youngest of 3. And afterwards, when I was 3, we moved to Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. The best place ever. I want to move back there someday. And then when I was 10, we moved to New Jersey. I was like, no, I hate this place. It's so boring. Because the only way I heard about New Jersey is in like cartoons like Futurama, where they would be like, "Oh, ew, it smells like New Jersey," So I thought New Jersey was like trash. I was just like, "Fuck, I'm moving to the grossest place in America." But like, honestly, New Jersey's beautiful. It's full of parks. It's full of schools that are like really top quality, like amazing bakeries. Like a lot of the towns look like little toy towns. They're very pretty. But I do have to say that I was very upset that I wasn't in Brooklyn anymore because I was like, no. And then me and my boyfriend moved to Chelsea, in New York. It's like 23rd Street, but then like I realized I can't live with anyone, which is why I live in this tiny room.
Yeah.
That's
So how did you move to Brooklyn? Like, how did you move from like Russia to the States? Alone?
Russia to the States. I was 3 years old, so my parents were like, we would move to this tiny little place in Brooklyn too. Like it was so cheap and everything, and like I remember one time we caught a mouse, we put it in a little bottle because we didn't want to kill it. It was so cute. So yeah, like we were definitely. There are people like that are like, oh yeah, like my parents own a house, like my whole life, and it's people that are like, a lot of my friends are like actually have like $25,000 in their savings accounts. My family never had anything, but that's why we're so fun, and we still like live like rich people. Like we go to restaurants, we still go to concerts, but like right now they're trying to sell the house that we bought, and so like my family is not a financial family. That's where it's different from Gary. We're so not financial.
I see. But then it's like just a different part of the whole picture, It's so much about like how you guys were raised together, your memories, and the culture you created as a family, as a group of people who are living together,
Yeah, you're so right. Like for us, America was all about like, oh my god, like we can watch movies that aren't bootleg,
Yeah, that's so cool. That's amazing. Just having access to so many cool things, like the restaurants and food places and concerts and all these new amazing people. I actually get it. That's so cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I remember also when my mom first moved to America, she went to Marshall's, which is like this like a really cheap outlet store, and she was like, I can get a shirt for $5 because her whole life in Israel and in Russia, they only like it's in the USSR, they only had like very cheap, like badly designed things, but over in America, there's very good clothes, very good options of what to wear.
Absolutely, that's crazy. I can actually relate because here in India, like there are just levels to it. So there's like something super cheap and like not durable, and then now with like progression and so much like migrating and transportation and stuff. So like the clothes and stuff are different here.
That's great. Yeah, and what part of India do you live in?
Lucknow. I'm not sure like you would know that. So like you have Delhi.
With east, south, west. Which one?
So like if this is India, this is Delhi right at the center, and Lucknow's towards just like I don't know.
Wow, you're like the action.
Yeah, just that's right. I'm not sure if you've heard about Delhi. It's like the capital of India.
Yeah, New Delhi.
Yeah. So it's very close to it, like just an hour away from here.
Wow, that's amazing. You can do so many amazing things then. Wow.
Yeah, my sister lives there. She's working there and stuff. So we keep going because Delhi has like all the cool places. Like it has Taco Bell and IHOP and all these places. So just go there to eat and like come back.
Yes, and plus like I'm sure you can see like comedians or like cool events there.
No, I just go like once a year. I don't go to. Yeah, I don't. I just literally am a person who just stays in my room and does nothing. Is like no life and stuff. Like just like on my computer doing shit. So.
Arguably, there's like the whole world is in your computer. So like when you work at the computer, you're doing a lot.
Yeah, like just with the whole Gary thing, I was just learning so much about social media and I got so interested in it. So started setting goals for myself. So one of the goals was to move to LA. By the end of this.
Me too.
Yeah, that is so cool. And I'm just trying to figure it out. That's why I also started the podcast. I was like, all right, let me get to know people there because I didn't know anyone there. And I was like, let me build relationships so that when I'm there, I'm not just alone and like crying in my bathroom. I can actually like have people to like speak to and everything. And
that's
just
so
doing
funny.
all that.
So when do you plan to move to LA?
So I'm planning a trip, just like a week or two's trip first, just to go and experience. This will be my first trip abroad. So it's gonna be in November because
Oh,
yeah, like end of November because I'll turn 21, and then I think they just like I need to figure out so much because there's so many visa issues, and I don't want to just go there as a tourist. I want potentially want to live there. And one of the biggest advices Gary talks about is like working for free. And I have so many people I would want to work for free for, and I'm kind of building relationships and networking my way through. But now for me to
great.
work, I would need a visa. And then he says that like because you got to survive, right? So he says that take a night shift at Whole Foods or Burger King or something. So for all of that, you need a visa and just things like that. So all of that is like a huge complication I'm trying to figure out. But I know like I'm not gonna let like these technical things stand in the way of, like your dreams and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So who would you want to work free for?
So one of the companies is Iconic. The Gary's investor in them. Have you heard about Iconic?
No, I don't know.
The canvas people who design canvases, art.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right. So those guys are just amazing people. They have Gary as an investor and Scooter Braun as an investor. And I found
Wow.
out about them through Gary, and they make a ton of content and stuff. And just consuming them, they're so like such amazing people and hardworking, and they've been able to like really grow their company to such a great extent. And for me, because I couldn't really pinpoint what is it that I'm good at, I just know I want to work hard and I want to push my limits and figure out what is it that I bring to the table. The best option would be to work for free, and because it's too early. And therefore, I wanted to invest in people. Like, I saw the characteristics, the morals, the values. If my vision matches with theirs, that's how I selected them. So, one of them would be Iconic. And I already spoke with like a couple of people who are friends with them to kind of create some credibility so that I'm not just, standing there like anything. So
Uh-huh.
one of them would be them. But because I feel like I would be so scared, like going alone and working for someone. They're kind of your family then, like you're seeing them every day and stuff like that. So it's very important for them to be like people you really vibe with. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true. Like, it actually makes me wonder, like, since you seem more of like an agent, kind of like social media PR, making deals kind of person.
Yeah.
That's just what I get from you.
Yeah.
I wonder if you would be actually happier in New York, because the majority of companies that do stuff that's like social media marketing is in New York.
Really,
Like they,
LA was because I wanted to be in the entertainment and music business, but in the business side, Like I don't
yeah,
want to be like the talent side, but more of the business side. And there's like one of my ideal person is Jake. I don't know if you know about Jake Paul.
oh yeah, Jake Paul, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But people just see him like as a content creator and stuff. He's a phenomenal business person. And I've been observing him and I've learned so much from him for over the years. And because I did not go to college, I did not have any formal education, I learned from Gary and Jake and business books and just created my whole foundation of that. And to get to him is going to be very difficult. So that's why I decided to have some sort of like credibility and also figure out what I'm good at so I can go and like offer something solid.
You know, like one of my favorite people is like most inspiring is my super manager. I think he's like number 2, number 3 to Gary. His name's Andy. Andy
Andy,
Craig.
yeah. Yeah,
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 and he's amazing. And so I talked to him, blah blah. Like we were just like sometimes we have meetings, and
yeah.
so I was like, yeah, Andy, blah blah blah. Like I wanna do this, I wanna do this. I wanna make a cartoon because he
Yeah.
was asking me like what my dreams were and stuff. And then he's like, oh, like like the main thing you have to do is to get followers, like because getting followers is a door that like when you open it,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can do anything else.
That's
So
so
like
true.
what I think is maybe you should vlog because you're so good in front of the camera.
I don't do anything. I'm just in my room. I have no friends. I have no life. So vlogging is just like
Like when you talk about your own story.
I did.
You
I
know,
have so many videos up on YouTube, but I'm just talking, and half of it is just complaining. I'm just complaining, and I don't know, just trying to figure it out. Like I just keep sharing my perspective on things I'm observing, and on YouTube, it's so hard to get views. Like for every single views, I have to hustle like a crazy person. And for like a podcast, right? So if a podcast is about like an hour or two, it takes me 6 hours to edit it, and then you upload it, and then it gets 13 views. It kind of throws you off. But I know it's
super.
like a compounding effect that over time it's gonna compound, you know?
And I'm gonna add something that
Yeah.
people love short videos. So if there's a way you can make short videos too, it would super help.
Yeah,
No.
I started doing the 1 minute podcast on Instagram. So I would take out a highlight of our podcast and put it up there and see how it's performing. But I don't know, like I'm just trying to figure out what I'm good at, and I see that I thrive off of people. Like, when I'm speaking to you, my mind is like, it's happy and it's creative, like I could come up with so much shit. But when you're
Yeah.
alone, just in the camera and on your computer for a long time, I exhaust myself like mentally to some other extent. That's why I feel like it's so important for me to move up. Like I've come to a saturation point where I've learned so much just consuming books and from the internet, like virtually. There's no personal human connection that I can't do it anymore. Like I want to go out in the real world to see what I'm capable of.
I so agree with like all the energy I get is when I'm at an event. There's people there. I can shake their hand. I can talk to them. Like I think one of the best days I've had in the past like half a year was some random person on Facebook that I used to be like friends with in an art class.
Yeah.
I think they're now transgender, but like super like it works for them. They're so beautiful right now. Like non-binary.
Yeah.
So like their art is so pretty, and plus they're colorblind. So it's like the colors are so magical. You should look it up. Spitbit is the most beautiful art ever. And so I was like, okay, I haven't talked to this person in years, but I'm still gonna go. So I went. I did not see the person. I started talking to. I was like so awkward because it was like an art show that I wasn't in.
Yeah.
And everybody that was there was like parents or kids.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what I mean? But then I made so many friends, and then when I finally saw Esme, I was like, hey, like, oh my god, like, and then they were like, oh, you're here? Oh my god, like, I can't believe I haven't seen you in 5 years. I was like, yeah, I made friends with everybody. Well, anyway, gotta go.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my god, I made so many people, so many connections, and then at the end I was like, bye guys, to like all the people that I met, and then I was so happy. I was like, damn, now I'm gonna go home to my apartment. Like, this is so, and so like I bought myself a cupcake. I hate it.
I absolutely feel you. That's like legit what I do. Like just go to places and feel like, okay, let me go out in the real world and just buy something for myself and come back home.
Yeah, because I couldn't just come back home like, okay, that was a good day. Like I had to be like, okay, yes. I think first I got a little cupcake, then I got a big cupcake because I was like, you know what, this is too much.
I know.
Yeah, something I super suggest is, since you're right next to Delhi, you can go to like all the comedy shows and stuff like that. Because you seem like a comedy person to me also. You just remind me of a stand-up.
I'm so far away from being funny and stuff. It just doesn't.
How long is the train ride?
The train ride is 6 hours. If you
shit!
Yeah.
I thought it was 1 hour. Oh my God.
No. If you fly, it's 1 hour for like 45 minutes. And when you drive, it's like the train thing also, right? And it just gets I don't know. I don't like going to Delhi. It's just a different vibe. I feel like LA is so different, because everything I've learned was from social media and everyone who lives there. And Jake was also another person who came from Ohio to LA. And so many people I've been speaking on the podcast. One of them was a dancer, Phil Wright. He is like so amazing. And he told me like when he initially moved from Miami to LA, he was sleeping in his car. And I told him, I was like, how big of a part did LA play in your career? He's like, the biggest. Because that's where he got to meet the right people and things like that, So if I see in India, like the top-notch people who are the top of their games, my vision doesn't align with theirs. That's like the biggest thing, So if I go to a company, say in LA, they would talk about that what they respect in a person. Like if I say, like I want to work for free, but I haven't gone to college, they couldn't care less. They would say that, I look for people who want to work hard, who have a vision, who have a purpose, and things like that. Here, people are looking for a degree and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just two very, very different worlds. So that's something I'm struggling with, but I know I can overcome it, I've been studying so much about like quantum physics, which talks about that you're like initially like what are we made of, like organs, and organs are made of tissues are made of cells are made of atoms. Now if atom is like the smallest particle that exists, and now if you break down an atom, it's made up of waves, which are vibrations. So initially the matter you are made of, this table is made of, your tablet is made of. And therefore your dreams, because your thoughts are also a vibration. So it spoke about that, how you can align yourself with your thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
There's so much that you can get scared of when you start to think about what it is.
Yeah.
Also, I read this strange thing that like can't really like touch anything because it's just all the molecules getting closer, but you're never actually touching it.
That is so true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But if you instead of like getting scared of it, if you think of it in your advantage, like instead of thinking like, who am I? And LA is such a big, intimidating city. You think of it like as a world, and that you're a part of that world, And I started writing like my why, like why is it important for me to become successful? So the story behind it, do you want to know the story?
For what?
About like why I want to go and like what I want to do?
Yeah.
So it was so much about when I was in the 11th grade, which is like senior high school. In India, like everyone's really focused on like your school and college, like your life depends on it, all right? Like there's nothing else you can do. You go to college or you die. And then, yeah, it's like super strict like that. So, and everyone's also like focused on then your grades, right? And that you're taking up like science and shit like that. And then I was never the worst at school, but I just couldn't care less. I never cared about school because I just had a difficult time. And then I saw couple of people I knew just having a difficult time, but I never spoke with anyone in school, so I just couldn't care less. And then this guy got really terrible marks, and he failed his class, so the principal called his parents and told him that he's a piece of shit, like he's never gonna accomplish anything, and just the whole thing. And that guy went back home and he took his life. And this was a case with a ton of people once I discovered, and I couldn't understand why this happened. I'm a person of possibilities. I always think that there's so much you can do, but these kids, like their parents, just put them in a box. Like I couldn't help but think that how he must feel. Like in such a box, that there's actually nothing in the world he can do if he didn't get like a certain grade. That blew my mind off. And that is why I chose, and this is not just once, like you study about it, there are thousands of cases that are so similar to this. And that's why I like kind of took it upon myself. I was like, I'm not gonna take up formal education and create my wealth in the you can say like untraditional path, or the road less traveled or something, to be a tangible example, to show the kids and to show the parents that there's so much out there in the world that you can accomplish, and what kind of an education really is important, like picking up the right books or learning from a person like Gary, who's already built a business, who's already credible and who's such a good person. You learn so much from him than a teacher just explaining you something from the book that was written in fucking 2006,
Yes.
And that was a whole big reason of why I wanted to do what I'm doing, to be a good example for the kids to see and to eventually like build this. That's why the podcast is called Building Community. It's like people building together, like essentially everyone's the same person, like essentially our problems boil down to the same, like financial, relationship, health. What else is there,
Try to prove yourself.
Yeah, so right, so just things like that. So I was like, irrespective of how different we are, all of us are the same. And I could be that one example to, kind of pave the way for like kids in like not even just India, but like Asia and all over the world, kids who just struggle with their parents and whose parents are actually difficult, to show them that there's this whole world that exists that you can go out there and accomplish, So,
yeah, like I feel like all the problems stem from themselves. Even the parents that are saying, "Oh, like my child isn't doing this." Why are they afraid? Because they're afraid everybody will say, "Oh, your child sucks.
Exactly.
You're a bad parent."
Yeah.
So it's all the problems that we have as a society is caused by what you're saying to yourself that you're not good enough. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Something like, what was I gonna say? God, I was just so ready to say it, and I just forgot.
I understand.
Wait, just give me 1 second. This is so funny.
I don't want to say anything, but I want to ruin it.
No, wait, what's I gonna say? What the hell? Just forget it. When I remember it, I'll say it.
Yeah, whenever that happens, do you know Vsauce? He's one of my biggest loves.
Yeah, I think I've heard about him. He's an internet person.
He's an amazing guy. He talks all about science. He really opened up my mind to like when like when you get all tripped out, you're like, yo, like the universe, like I can get high without weed. I'm just thinking about the universe, like the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he was like, hey, like wait, no, I forgot what I was supposed to say. Oh wait, never mind. I just remembered. I was like, wait, no, this cannot be happening.
Yeah.
He said that when you forget about what you're gonna say, it's because like your brain is trying to help you by cutting out everything. So let's say like you're thinking about zebras and then you forget. You're like, wait. And then your brain is like, okay, so you weren't thinking about lions, we're thinking about zebras, and it accidentally puts the right thing in the category of things that aren't the right thing. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
It's confusing, but it throws away the right answer. You know?
I see.
So that's why. So that's why it's blocked, because your brain is trying to help you, but in reality, it's like glitching. The brain is such a computer. Like,
that's the right word. Yeah.
People always get surprised whenever I consider the computer like to be AI or anything, but it is like computers and brains are the same thing because, for example, one time I needed to write a song that was like 20s style, like 1920s, 1930s. I listened to 1920s, 1930s songs the whole day for 10 hours while doing my work.
Yeah.
What happened when I walked home? I heard nonstop new songs from the time.
New songs?
Yes, songs that were created. I heard it in my head as like let's say like I heard like the classics from Fred Astaire. Yeah. I hear a new one that's being generated by my computer. It's like it doesn't exist. It's a blend of everything.
Ah, I see.
So weird. So that's why if you listen to, let's say for example, Gary every single day, or at least for 5 hours, at the end of the day, sometimes like when you're going to sleep and your brain makes fake conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing's gonna happen. Like you can write like Gary, or like talk like him. Do sentences.
Oh yeah. All the time in the podcast, I'm like, all right, so this is what Gary says, and whenever I'm talking to people, it's like Gary says this, Gary says that. It's like the whole thing that Simon says. Like that's my whole conversation is like just quoting him, like to give myself a little bit of credibility.
Yeah, I understand. Like before Gary, like I was always like, yeah, like accomplish your dreams. But like now, whenever people tell me stuff, I'm like, okay, I know the steps first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's fucking true. I have a problem. I see the potential in everyone, so I want everybody to just fucking succeed. I'm just like, oh. And so whenever someone's like, I want to be famous, but I don't know how, I'm just like, I know how. But I know if I tell you, I'm gonna waste like 3 hours on you because that happens. That happens with every friend I have. I know exactly what they should do to be successful, but they never listen to me because they don't want to work.
Oh my god, same, legit. Everyone I've had on the podcast, they're like, I want to do this, and I'm like, listen, like, let's do it. And then at this time, they won't even like disagree. They would be like, yeah, like that sounds so right, and like that's exactly what I was thinking. But then they never follow up with the work, never. And it's it's like one of the most disappointing things. Like I was speaking with a lot of hip hop artists, but artists with like 1,000 followers. Because I saw Gary was so invested in the hip hop community, I was like, I would do it, but people who were like as small as me, right? And then the reason was so we can provide each other value. Like he exchanges my audience and I flip my audience to him, like in equal exchange. Because I was saying the hip hop culture was just becoming a little violent. You just kept hearing about like drugs and guns and all sorts of things. I was like, it's so important for us to get to know the people behind them, because maybe for the culture they rap about things like that, but inherently they're still like people, like actual human beings, right? So we were like, all right, we'll put up your music and then that's going to be followed up with a 1-minute podcast. So we can see if people really vibe with your music, but then they also get to know you as a person, because there's always going to be a better artist than you, but once people connect with you as a person, that's where that's when they'll come back to listen to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like sometimes I feel bad unfollowing someone because I know who they are. Like let's say like someone makes a lot of like video content and then they make cartoons that are not that good. I'm like, yeah, but I know you, so I can't unfollow you because I like you as a person.
Exactly. Yeah, but then that's what the work comes in, to create content, and then they don't follow up with it. I'm like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, what are people gonna follow you for? Even if I send my audience to you, for what?
It's like, oh my god, like whenever somebody gives me advice, I always take it, especially if they have more followers than me. They know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah. Meanwhile, I would be like, okay, I'm not gonna say who, but like 5 of my friends have done this to me. Okay, friend, let's do this. You have a project you want to do? I'll give you 5 weeks. Do this. Okay, thank you so much. I'll do everything. Fucking like 2 weeks later. So did you do anything? I don't feel like I'm ready. Like, you don't feel like you're ready. You're never gonna be ready if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
Which,
But that's like the big. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, please go on.
Yeah, like although it makes me angry,
Yeah.
at the same time, it makes me like disappointed because I know I can help, and nobody ever takes my advice. And even yesterday, one of my favorite, my family friends, or a few days ago, she's a pianist, like a beautiful, like the most amazing piano ever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know what to do. I just got fired from my job at the Metropolitan Opera, which is like, and so I said, yo, you should stream every day live piano playing and talk to the audience. Amazing idea.
Yeah.
And for like a 50-year-old, I have not seen anybody over 40 do this.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, we'll do it. I set up the YouTube channel and literally said, do this.
Yeah.
I'm sad now. I can't do it, which is so upsetting. She's so talented. Oh my god, if I could play piano like that, I'd be streaming all the time.
Yeah, but like that's the fact that hard work beats talent, right? And one of the articles I was studying about is like the 99% people and the 1% people. So the 1% people are like who earn above like 500K or whatever. And it said that all of these people have like the same, like, everyone's insecure, everyone has self-doubts, everyone's super uncomfortable, everyone's scared. But it's only that 1% who chooses to overcome it. Even though you're all like full of insecurity and self-doubt, you still pick up your phone and make that video. You still like get out of your bed even though like you feel like shit, but you take that little step. And it's that thing which is like the most difficult but the most like thing that's gonna give you the best results.
Yeah, I think the thing that made me like, I forgot how to say this in English, like finally, like to do this is when I thought about all the bitches that are making racist ass movies.
Yeah.
Like stupid, like this one guy who made the racist ass movie called Lokisha. Fuck that guy. Yeah. He still made it. He still invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and made a horrible movie that's racist. And he still did it. Meanwhile, everybody that makes amazing ideas for movies are like, I'm not ready. Get ready. Do it. Because like there are people that are gonna make like horrible, stupid content that makes the whole society worse, and they are just brave enough to put it because they're stupid enough. The problem is smart people don't want to put their content out if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But like it's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's so true. That's why I said like so many talented people, smart people, but people who work harder than you, they'll beat you. Because if you're doing something over and over again, you just get better at it. Like the 10,000 hour rule. So even if I'm like not the best singer, if I'm not a singer at all, if I start learning singer like professionally and start training with my vocals or whatever, I'll eventually come to a point where I'll learn. And then also I'll come to a point where I learn how to market it. And essentially there's so many like who are not the best artists, but then they just get their music out there, like backing up with content or followers or whatever, and like just put it on there,
You're like me. I can't sing. But the thing is, I sing okay. I'm not good at singing. But guess what? Everybody I know that can sing well, I haven't seen them release a song. I released an album. And
really?
I know it's not good. I don't give a shit. Like, it's like, like, I'm not a singer. Like, I sing like this. But, like, whatever. I know it sounds funny. I know it doesn't sound perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud I did it. And I can think of, like, 10 people that should have made an album, but they're too scared. And, like, I'm going to put out my music even if it's not perfect.
Where is your album?
Huh?
Where's your album?
It's on Spotify, iTunes, everything. It's
cool.
so fucking easy. Nowadays, it was free to publish it. I didn't need an agent. I didn't need a manager. I just needed to upload it on the site.
So what did you, like, just record it yourself? And
I rap. I make piano stuff. But see, I don't promote it on my YouTube, which is a mistake. I probably should.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I probably will do that soon. But yeah, here's my piano.
So this is legit. This is not a joke.
No, it's not a joke. Here I could show you. I have my iPad. That's where I make all my music. Legit. You don't need it. It's better than anything I could think of. Let me show you. Like I was actually looking at a song right before you came in. Like,
What? Come again? Your thing
oh,
froze. I'm sorry.
oh, it's okay. I was actually like, oh my god, I have an idea for a song right before the podcast. It was like I think around like 11:30. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And so like I was just like, this is literally what I made in like 20 minutes. Like I was trying to do like a 50s kind of song. So like I was like the song, you know, I don't know if you can sing. That's just me like doing bullshit like right now, you know what I mean? But the good music I make, you should check it out. It's actually very good. If you're gonna edit this, you can put a song like right here.
Yeah, absolutely. That is so dope. I'm so proud. Like just seeing people who like work hard and like just do what they have to do, you know? It's
So do you
just
want to sing too?
no, I don't, but I really
Oh,
wanna. I just feel like, the next question I was gonna ask you was like, are you happy? So just to talk in like that context was, I feel so like deeply unhappy, like I'm happy because I'm grateful, like I have an amazing family and we have roof over our head, we're well to do, but so deeply unhappy because I feel so unfulfilled. And I feel like I have so much to give as a person and I can't. And something like just speaking with so many people on the podcast, right? I just kept discovering that I'm not saying I'm better, but I just kept on saying that I'm so different, like so many people who all consume Gary, but I consume him so differently. And like just I have so many notes on my walls, sticky notes here and there, like proper consumption. Because I was like, when I didn't do well in school, I was like, I'm gonna become like the smartest person in my industry. In what I wanna do, I will be the most educated out of all. And I just like, really worked hard and learned the most. Like when I would watch him, I would just watch him like this and have so many clips on my phone to go back to and things like that. But I feel like now it's time for the real world and I haven't been able to tap into that. And here, like in India, you don't have people who kind of support you in what you're trying to do. Like everyone's always looking at me weird. They're like, "You're not going to college," and when I try to explain them what I'm trying to do, like they do not understand it at all. So I'm like, I'm just working on a project, and that's it.
oh,
But
but it's not even a project. You have to say I'm turning myself into a celebrity slowly, but I'm doing.
yeah, but then they don't get it. Like it's just weird. So what happens is like once you can take it, you're like, yeah, I couldn't care less. But we as humans, like we want human connection and like support, whether it's friends or whether it's whatever. And then that just doesn't happen. And it's just, yeah, I don't know, it's just weird. Like I've just come to that point where I know I'm like a good person and I know I can work hard. And it just, you need to be put in that environment to be able to, I feel like, develop your skills or whatever. I don't know.
This makes me really want to think about what's best for you because the fact that you're unhappy surprised the shit out of me. I was like, what? I thought you were gonna say that you are happy. Man, if you're not happy, then stuff has to change right now, right? Like
Yeah.
everything has to change.
Yeah.
So, do you have you already reached out to the people that you want to reach out to?
The
Like
thing
like
is,
me, I work for free.
the thing is, what will I say? If I say I want to work for free and if they say yes, right? Now for that, I would need financial support. Where I was thinking I can work a night shift or whatever, right? Like Gary suggests. Now to do that, I would need a visa, and to get a visa is it's like just
No,
the
no.
most
But what about
complicated
this?
shit.
Have you thought about all the work you can do without even leaving India? Like you could be a copywriter. You can do interviews for example, there's like let's say like there's like a BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, you have the energy of the BuzzFeed people. I feel like you'll be friends with them. Do you watch BuzzFeed?
Not really, like, but I've seen like the videos here and there.
Yeah, like I love like the actual people who are journalists, are the social media strategists.
Yeah.
They're so nice. Like, and I feel like they would be a great place to apply to just shit. I wish like we're right now in the best time of history because we can work anywhere we want.
Yeah.
Like from far away.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like the thing is I want to be in the
We're
culture.
in there. Yes.
I just
Yes, I
don't want to
so
be home anymore, and like I don't know like how to show it to you. Like wait, so wait, do you see the sticky notes? That little chair you see there, the chair and the table. Excuse my room, it's messy. That's where I'm the most of the time. And there's a whiteboard, and then there are like papers to keep me in check, and then there's a vision board. This has been going on for
amazing.
2 years. I've had it. I need some like physical, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
that kind of a thing.
I think you're so ready to start planning how to get here. Because even if it's not LA, even if it's New York, you're gonna fit in so well. You literally have the energy of any like American person, and you have no accent. Like I can't believe that. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because this is all I do. Like my laptop, I've grown up on this shit. So here people think I have an accent, and I'm like, I don't. Because like once you're only watching like TV shows and music, that is like my whole world exists on a laptop. Like it's just insane. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about LA was I felt like I don't know anyone, and it was so scary, and I need a place to stay, and because I felt like I'm a girl, so you know, like just staying on some random guy's couch, it can't work for me. Just things like that. Just I really want to
well,
be able to overcome that.
I think you have to start really imagining like what you need and like writing it down. Like okay, so you need the visa.
Yeah.
For the apartment, you could have the 4 roommates and
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, because right now I pay 1,000, and I have 3 roommates, but I don't see them.
1,000 for 3, but you have like your own room.
Yeah, this is my own room.
Oh, so this must be an apartment with 3 rooms.
Oh, sorry.
Are you in an apartment with like a 3 bedroom apartment?
No, I'm in a 4-bedroom.
Ah,
So-
I see. So you have 3 other roommates. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen. Okay, it's not the best. It's not a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, it's half an hour from where I need to go.
Yeah.
Like in New York, so
Yeah.
that's better than nothing. And I think that honestly, you have to start doing it. You know what Gary said, where you have to DM like 500 people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did it break up the connection?
Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. Now it's good.
First step is the visa. Figure out what you need. Then apply to everywhere, New York and LA, I think. And because
New York, I just don't have so much an idea of. New York is way scary for me. I feel like it's too corporate, and I'll get scared and I'll get lost.
No, I promise to you, there's so many businesses here that need people like you to be the fun one.
Really?
Who are like, hey, yeah, absolutely. I see that all the time. Like, there's every single company you could think of has business, social marketing that isn't content. I mean, no, it is. It's like the GaryVee took kind of Vaynermedia, everything. Twitter, Snapchat, every place you can think of.
Yeah.
And so like, if you can apply, if you could say, oh, hey, I will work for you, not even for free, but like, you know, I will work for you basically.
Mm-hmm. But then I was like, if not for free, like that's the only leverage I have is like.
As soon as you can find a place.
Wait, your audio broke up. I'm so sorry. I just started talking.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as you can find a place that says yes, you have to maybe even do a little Kickstarter, then get here, and then you can start thinking. Because like with your energy, I cannot imagine someone not hiring you.
Like that means I could just legit cry. This is not even funny, you know, because I felt like, you know, like I'm telling you, when I have so much to give, I genuinely feel that. I felt like that's only in me, in my head. But now when I'm talking to people, I see that I'm smart. I see that I can get things done. I see that I'm creative. I see, not that I'm better, but different than...
You are better. No offense, you're better.
So, you know, just things like that. And I feel like I'm going to regret wasting my time here. But I'm so scared of just being alone and crying in a city that is so foreign. You know, with LA, I've been studying about it for 2 years. And I feel like now it's kind of home because I kept visualizing myself on like Rodeo Drive and like just random places like that. But now when it's becoming a little more real, it's so intimidating and just scary as shit.
Yeah.
But
it makes me think like, oh my god, like I would love if we could both find a place in LA.
That would be the craziest shit ever.
I would love that. But just LA, I gotta warn you, do you know how big it is? LA.
Big is it as in?
Like it's like to New York is like, ooh, like we're New York. Like maximum to drive from here to here is like an hour.
Oh,
maximum.
I understand like that. Yeah.
Drive from here to here is like 10 minutes. And like this is Hell's Kitchen. This is already like the Lower East Side. So it's like it's so different. Like here is Chinatown, here is GaryVee. You know what I mean? Like and then this is LA, right? Here is Hollywood, here is that, here is that, here is that. So like literally to drive like sometimes I heard, I don't know, but I was looking it up, and if you live here and your friend lives here, you're never gonna see each other. It's like
Really?
5 hours of traffic.
Yeah, the
So
traffic is a huge thing, you know. But
I
I
would
feel
say
like, but I feel like the weather's good and there's so much to do. Like, you know, you give some, you lose some, and then I've heard like the public transportation is shit, but it's fine.
yeah,
I was like, I actually looked at a place which was in LA. You have Koreatown, and I was thinking like that's one of the places where, you know, like we could be.
yeah.
And
I gotta say, I have always been attracted to Chinese culture because it reminds me of Russian culture. They're very similar.
I love the Asian culture. I watch so many Korean TV shows. It's my whole life. Yeah.
Do you know a band called, oh my god, Janabi?
No.
Stop, you have to look it up.
Wait, what language is it?
Korean.
Wait, what is it called? Sorry, wait.
Janabi?
Let me
Their
write it.
songs make me cry.
Wait,
J
oh, sorry. Yeah, how do you spell it?
J-A
J
N
A
N
N N
A-B-I.
A B I. Janabi.
Oh my god, their songs are so good. It sounds like Queen, like
Really?
Freddie Mercury.
Dude, I live for like Korean culture. It's my favorite. I love Asian food. Like that's my whole vibe. So when people say Koreatown is not like that well, you know, I'm like, bitch, that's like one of the best places I could be.
Yeah, Koreatown is like 10 minutes away from me right now.
Really? Oh wait, you have Chinatown and Koreatown both?
Chinatown, Koreatown, Little Italy, the Jewish part, the Little Ukraine. We have everything. We also have Little Pakistan, Little India.
Really? So what, you have like Little India has all these Indian people?
It has, not only that, it also has the most delicious restaurants. So
Yeah.
good. But I'm pretty sure if you came here, you'd be like, this sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure, like the whole spices thing and everything.
Yeah, but I mean, still, it's the best. It's called like Curry Hill, the Little India, because it's like a little hill of all. It's so good though. It's amazing.
When
I
were
really,
you planning to move to LA?
for some reason, I keep hearing the number in my head, like 5 years or 2 years, which is interesting because I feel like right now because my dream is to already go there and work and like have a job at a cartoon place. So I think I want to stay in Vaynermedia for like until I feel like I'm ready to move on. But right now it's so good, like because the cartoon is not super serious. Like it's not like, hey, you already know how to make 5 cartoons, right? Yeah, like it's more like, hey, let's all figure it out together.
Yeah.
As opposed to in LA where like everyone is a celebrity, everyone is amazing. They're not gonna hire me because they don't know me, you know.
But then that's what you like, you know, you don't have to go with that. Now that you're working with Gary, you have credibility and you can learn so much just being around this culture. Take that as a leverage and be like, I work for Gary Vaynerchuk for his super well-known cartoon Lil V. Then you move up the ladder from there. You know, things like that. So you're already in such a good position.
Yeah, like, and plus, like, we have to remember we're both like 20 years old. Like, we're such babies.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, the one thing about this, like, I'm super patient about like the end goals and like the house, the fucking car, or whatever. But I don't want to wait to become happy, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm 20, but I'm like, at least like let me enjoy the process, and it's not fun. Like, I'm just complaining, but it's just something I generally feel, and I really want to be able to overcome that, you know?
Yeah, we're in this age where the biggest psychological problem is like how do I label myself? Like it's why like everybody that usually like that hits like 20 years old,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, like who how do I describe myself? Am I this? Am I this? Am I this? You know, like
Yeah.
and like for example, when you're 50, you're already starting to think, okay, who was I? Did I do a good job? But like you don't care, like you don't really want to get like tattoos or change your hair color when you're 50 because you're already like, okay, I know who I am, no problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So it's very very interesting. The development, scary time.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, your audio froze. So your audio came after a while, so I was just like still listening. It just keeps freezing. Like, can you see me?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but then thank you for saying that. You know, it means a lot because I was like, what do I bring to the table? I know I bring something, but am I going to be valuable to other people? You know, would people even like care about me, care that I have a vision, or care about like anything else or whatever? But it makes me happy that you feel that way. I just love like listening to people's feedback.
Does it work?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I can't believe you're all the way in India. Oh my god, so cool. Like it makes me like wonder how I can help you and like what you can realize about who exactly you are and what your talent is. Because I know it's talking to people, but it's like, oh my god, how are we gonna put that into like something you can market? You know?
It's so weird. I'll tell you, like, my end goals are so clear. Like, the whole education thing I was talking about, I really wanted to be the person who brings a shift in the education system by creating the first. I should have the credibility, right? Like, I made something of myself without the formal education. That's when I can have a say. And I always see myself speaking in the UN about, because this is a really serious matter, you know? And something like India has the largest youth population, right? So whatever the youth are doing here today, it's eventually going to shape the world. And the world's population is like 7.7 billion, and Asia alone is 4.6. It's over half the world, right? And yeah, and imagine like the kids. So I feel so passionate about it, and I feel like it's so important for me to accomplish my goals, to be able to not just change the world like in the most abstract manner, but very constructively be be the voice for like the young people to be able to do that, you know?
Do you have a Twitter, by the way?
I do, but I don't like tweet anything. I just like consume.
This is the kind of stuff that people need to hear on Twitter. Because that's where I hear all the political changing and everything. You know Jamila Jamil? She's amazing.
No.
Well, all she does, like, she's like an amazing actress too, but she's so political and amazing and says the best things on Twitter.
I think I've heard about her. Like, name any of her movie?
The Good Place.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, she's so pretty, nice, funny, and she's like always advocating for like more representation for brown and black women, more like body diversity and everything. But at the same time, she's funny and she's cool and she's fashionable. Like she's an example of how to brand herself amazingly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that like you have to like set a few colors or something and start branding yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was trying to do that on YouTube, but I felt like I would say like I was like, who cares, you know? Because people, I understood one thing is entertainment is more powerful than self-help, you know? So what my biggest goals was, I feel like I have strong purpose and very educational shit backing up me because I've read a lot, but it needs to be packaged in a different way so that kids they get entertained, but at the back of it there's an important message behind it. That's when it's going to be like the most powerful and impactful, and I lack like the entertainment side, and that's why I really wanted to be around people, to be able to meet the right people and kind of create this whole crew, that people who do things together, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would thrive in that environment. I see myself as a leader. And
what's your YouTube channel? I want to look it up. The branding.
It's Devika Khandelwal. So like just write Devika and then we can see.
By the way, your name is so pretty.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah, it reminds me of everyone's like, Avital is so pretty. Yeah, because you know what I see a lot of YouTubers doing now?
Yeah.
Is for some reason it doesn't come up, your YouTube.
Oh wait. Let me so write KHAN.
Yeah, I have it. Daily D.
Oh my god, just please ignore that.
That's so cute.
This is the least creative
like,
name.
I'm subscribing. But yeah, like right now the channel banner, like you have to add something that's like all of your branding.
I don't know how to do all of that. I just like legit took a picture on Google and like just put it up. I did not know editing. I did not know how to make a thumbnail. Legit like studied everything on YouTube, like the most basic shit, and did it. Like,
wow.
Crazy.
See, I'm glad you're doing it though. I see how often you post. Amazing. I think your thumbnails are good. I gotta think about.
Like, I'm so bad at it. I just make them on Canva, and I saw like one tutorial how to make thumbnails, and it said like have a picture and like have a white box and text on it, and I just like put stickers. That's like my whole thing. It's just so stupid. Like, I'm not that person, but I just like do the bare minimum.
You know, I think something that I would recommend is if you can figure out how to make 3-minute funny sketch videos that are shareable.
Sketch videos?
Like sketch videos is like oh, like you put on a wig or something and you're like, hey, like I'm this, you know, like, oh yeah, like for example, like I saw this really funny video where someone was making fun of the YouTube beauty vlogger drama.
Okay.
And her channel had all the videos. It was very similar to yours, like good advice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when she made that video, she blew up, and everyone was like, "Yeah, now I'm gonna support you," because she made something funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I want to do really bad is make a list of all the things that you should check out, like for inspiration on how to spin your own brand. You know, like a list of links, like check out this person for thumbnails, this person, because you are such an amazing energy that people deserve to see you. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I can legit start crying. It's so funny.
Also, like, I would love. Do you draw at all? No.
Like, I know how to draw. Like, if I trace stuff, I can trace really well, and I would just trace shit on my laptop. That's lame, but I can't draw.
Yeah, like, cause I was gonna say, like, I would love, like, I really would love to podcast with you again, like, for real. Like, it's so amazing.
Absolutely. We can, like, make it, like, a whole monthly series where we just keep updating each other on, like, what's up in life. That could be, like, a whole podcast series.
Listen, that would be amazing. And plus, like, I gotta think, because I really wanted to do podcasts also with, like, animators that I like. So maybe you can give me advice on how to package it, like that.
I'll tell you, like, the best thing about why I love my podcast, it's on YouTube. You get to see another person. It is so much more like a strong connection than it was just audio. And what you do is, like, you see me on Skype right now.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as well?
Yeah.
Drag yourself in the middle. It's gonna split the screen.
Yeah. I did the same thing in the beginning.
Right? Yeah. So, and then I just screen record the whole thing. And find animated. I would just DM people. I would just DM 20 people, and one of them would say yes. And then I would study about them a little bit. But then, because they consume Gary, all of us, like, I feel like the topics we touch on are very similar. And what I was really lucky with, like, I'm actually good with people. Like, I genuinely want to get to know you. So that's how my questions were, you know. Like, right now we're talking, but otherwise my questions are like, you know, what's your story? Are you happy? What's your end goal? So these questions, just like with one question, the whole story starts to unfold, you know, and you really get to know the person. So it's not just the podcast, but I potentially form like a strong relationship with them. So in future, if we would want to work together, if I can do a favor, they can do a favor, we would be down to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're so right. Oh, like, I feel like you have so much in your future. It's so amazing, though.
Yeah,
I'm so
sometimes
happy.
I see it visually, and sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna die in my room. It's just two things. Yeah. But do the whole animators thing, I think, yeah, just make this whole community, you know, like on you sharing stuff on Instagram. And Gary talks so much about like 80% of your energy on Instagram because the reach is so good. Like all the energy that you're putting, you can actually see in numbers on Instagram, you know. So you're doing your art stuff and stuff, and what you can do is do like a 1 minute podcast, or maybe like an IGTV if you wanted longer, and just with like animators, you know, like just discussing ideas or them getting to know them as people, and then share their work and make them share your work. You guys switch your followers, you know. So instead of going from like 1,000 to 1,100, you go from 1,000 to potentially 2. That's what I'm trying to do.
You're right. Wow, it's great advice. I'm gonna keep thinking about it, and I might actually do it. It's a little scary. But I'm gonna do it.
Try to do it. You know, the greatest thing would be you would make cool friends and you would build a network. You don't know what animators knows what company in LA or whatever place you're trying to be. So you'll have creating content for you on the side, but in your main like focus would be to build relationships to get your future like job or, you know, like meeting or whatever like that. People are like the ROI, so just take the whole advantage of it. And something like, you know, you might not know who you might stumble upon, you know, like you might make a great friend, or someone maybe needs like a person to listen to them, you know. So it's just like good shit happening with the whole podcast thing. So if you
I wish I could give you a hug.
Same. Yeah, true the laugh. Yeah,
I'm so glad you invited me. Please let me know next time that you want to talk, because I really do. It's amazing.
Absolutely, I would just love that. But I'm just trying to figure out how to do this LA thing. Like I'm just really trying to figure out how to get shit done. You know, for real. And
yeah, I'll send you all the inspirations that I think would super help you, and please keep in contact, please. I want to know more.
But anyways, do you know anyone in Vaynermedia who might be like an Indian and who came all the way just to like?
Yeah. Raghav, but I don't know his last name.
Okay. So what is he? Did he go to college? Because if they went to college, then the visas are different.
Oh, you mean from India? No, I think they're all Indian American, so it's easier.
I see. I'm trying to like find people who did something that I want to do to be able to speak to them like what's the real process, because here even lawyers don't know. Huh?
You could speak to Raghav. I think his name is Raghav Haran.
Okay, but would he like? Is he from India? Did he come from India to here, or like was he already living here with his parents?
No, I'm pretty sure. I really don't know that much about him, but he's super, super nice, and like he doesn't get that much attention, but he writes all of Gary's blog posts. He writes like a lot. Like he writes all the emails that Gary sends out, stuff like that. So he's like a great person to talk to, especially since you could bond over like your culture.
Yeah.
So I think that like you should reach out. Just don't tell him I said it, because then he'd be like what? Like, why are you saying it to me?
Okay, I'll try sending him a DM and calling him on the podcast, and that would be like also one thing, right? So Gary spoke about Gary. I just keep like speaking about him, but he said like instead of cold emailing people, you call them on your podcast. So if it's not even animators, if it's like a person who runs the place where you would want to work, instead of cold emailing them, you call them on your podcast and build a relationship. And if they like both of us, right? Like if I was running a company and I loved you, irrespective of how better someone was, I would pick you because I vibe with you, and that is the advantage that you could have as well.
Wow, you have the best visions, I think.
I do, but so I'm like just in my room with the vision, like it's just
But you're doing shit. You're super doing shit. I'm super proud, and I'm glad you're making content, because you're better than 99% of people as soon as you start making content.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so true. But yes, please let me know. I'm gonna send you the stuff, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'll just check. I remember I had to ask you a question. I am so sorry. We just went to the whole.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have time? Is it okay for like?
Yeah, sure.
So one of them was. So what's the biggest thing that you've learned like being in this environment with these guys?
Boy, it's so hard. I think the biggest thing I learned is like I don't have to be in a box. Like just because I'm an animator and cartoonist doesn't mean I can't also be like showing my face every day or putting my music. Like I could do all of that and still be me without just like just because something isn't like polished and perfect, I can still put it out there. You know what I mean? Like, and it just matters to post every day. I didn't know all of that stuff was like so binary. Like if you don't post every day, you're not gonna win. But it's true.
Yeah, so, it really is. But it's one of the most difficult things to be able to post every day.
Yeah, but honestly, ever since I started posting every day, it made me like. Also, my friend Dekirk, the one that rapped to get into the company, he was posting every single day for a whole year, and he got like 2,000 followers from it or something like that. And he's like, yeah, it's the best decision I've ever made in my career.
How cool. So where are you posting every day on Instagram?
Oh, me? Or him?
You.
Oh, me? Well, I try to post every day on Twitter and Instagram, but you can see it doesn't really happen. Because it's hard.
Yeah, but I feel like, from like nothing to something, you're going to like be able to build that momentum up, right?
Yeah.
Something about like overcoming fear. Like, was there anything in your journey where you really had to overcome something that you really, really had like a huge fear and about?
Yes. The thing is, it's not really coming up as a specific thing, but one of the biggest fears I had was, I can't leave SVA, and then I'm going to be all fucked up, and my life's going to be wrong, because I have to go to college.
Yeah.
I don't. And, like, nobody was going to tell me I don't. But then when the SVA people were very rude to me when I said I wanted to switch to 2D instead of 3D. They were like, oh, you're not good enough. I'm like, I just got a job at Team GaryVee, with GaryVee. You really, like, at an animation studio in New York, you really think I'm not good enough? They're like, you should draw more pots and pans and still life. I'm like, yes, I do. I just don't put it out there because it's not marketable. Like, I was actually talking to them, saying more high-level shit than they were saying to me. Yeah. And then they had the, what do you call that? They had, like, the audacity to keep telling me, you should try harder. And then later I look up the people that go to SVA, like this one kid who's like literally sexually assaulted people, the worst kid in the fucking school, awful artwork.
Yeah.
I mean, not assault people, but like stalk people. Oh my god. And so everyone's like, get him out of the school. He's a creep. He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He stayed there for 5 years. 5 instead of 4. Because he has a lot of money and they just wanted his money. So ever since then, even though it was hard to say, I'm not going to go to SVA because I'm going to not be with my friends, I'm not going to blah, blah, it was so, like, that was overcoming that fear of not going to college was tough, but I'm glad I did it because that was a good decision. Because staying in school meant $75,000 I have to pay. No way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So that was great.
That's amazing. I love that. I love the whole thing that you ended up here. Like, it's an amazing place. I feel like you're gonna thrive here. It's just as even like as people, as human beings, the relationships you'll build would just be amazing. So I love that. That's so cool.
Thank you.
So we will definitely keep in touch, and I'll try to edit this whole thing and see like the 1 minute thing that I can put it up on my Instagram. Would you want a clip for yours as well?
Yes, and can you also credit me as like Avital Magnet SHTAPURA because people know me as Magnet.
Okay, yeah. Because I went on your YouTube and I thought I couldn't find you, but then I went back and you said that you're Magnet. I see.
I'm trying to rebrand it like Avital Magnet SHTAPURA, but it's like it's difficult. But I think that's the best way to do it.
I know, but it's gonna take me a while to edit it because I have a couple of videos lined up. So when I do post it, I will ask you like what exactly do I write and stuff, and then we could go about it. Cool?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I had like a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Devika, you're the best. Oh my god, it was great that you loved it.
So I'll definitely hit you up when we're about to post it, and then next month let's try to do it again and like just update each other on like what's going on.
Yes, please. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Devika.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Hey!
Hi, can you see me?
Oh yeah. Oh, should I do webcam too?
Yeah, do you want? I mean, that's how we usually do it.
All right, let me think because I have my laptop right now. I'm also eating something. Let me think if laptop is better or iPad.